Today I'm going to do some palm readings, and I'm going to explain a little bit about what the lines mean and what the mounts mean. And when I do palm reading, I also tend, since I'm a psychic, I tend to sort of tune in a little bit and may give some additional information that's coming from clairvoyance. Nobody knows where palm reading originated from. Most accounts seem to think it comes from India, from about 5,000 years ago. The first written records of palmistry come from India. It then spread through China, it spread through ancient Greece. Alexander the Great used palmistry. There's lots of records going back. Recently I went on an epic journey to India, and it really got me into palmistry, mainly because they looked at my thumbprint, and from the thumbprint they told me incredible things, as well as accessing an ancient oracle that told me all about my life. And that triggered an amazing interest. I'm just hooked now. Everybody's palm print is completely different. It's amazing really, because it tells you something about the karma, the past of that person, and what they've brought into this life. And you know, identical twins, they even have different thumbprints. Every thumbprint in the world is totally unique to you.
How do you know of Craig Hamilton Parker?
I saw him in a television program, and then I saw some books and I read it, and a few books, and I found very interesting what he's doing, and I know he is very, very good what he's doing. So I was impressed.
Well, Craig's going to give you a palm reading today. Have you ever had a palm reading done before?
Oh, well, yes, actually. In a joke way between friends. One of my friends, she just say she knows something, and some things was true, some things it wasn't. So it's just in a joke way. We just enjoy it and find interesting.
Are you looking forward to Craig reading your palms today?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm very excited. I can't wait to see what he's saying.
There are 4 types of hand. The earth hand. The palm is square with short fingers. Most people with this hand are very practical, hard-working. They like outdoor experiences. The air hand. For this, the palm is square with long fingers. Most people with this hand are mentally active, restless, and they get easily bored. The water hand. The palm is rectangular and long with long fingers. Most people with this hand are motivated by their feelings and emotions. The fire hand. The palm is long and rectangular, and the fingers are short by comparison. Most people with a fire hand are quite extrovert. They like to be the life and soul of the party. The left hand is what you've inherited in life, and the right hand is what you do about things. So when I say inherited, it's like your karma. You know, this is what your left hand is your destiny, and your right hand is what you do about your destiny, create your fate you create. Mm-hmm. So first of all, you've got quite long hands, which shows a sort of certain artistic level in your hand. You're a Pisces, so you're quite emotional anyway as a person, and that would correspond a lot with what I'm seeing in the hand, because I would take your hand as being a water hand. Now there's different schools that interpret hand shapes and everything very differently, but I'm taking your hand as being an artistic looking hand, a hand that is also quite sensitive and quite emotional. The fingers and thumb are also very important within palmistry. They represent aspects of the person's personality, and each is governed by a planet which reveals the various energies associated with that person. The thumb indicates your willpower and strength, right? And that can indicate a very stubborn person. So would I be right in saying you can be quite stubborn when you really want to be? Yeah, you can be quite. You can really dig. You've got that sensitivity, yeah. But at the same time, stubbornness. A stubborn, sensitive person.
Yeah.
In palmistry, the mounts or bumps of flesh on the palm play a very important role during a reading. They are related to the influences of the planets, which also tell us a lot about the physical and emotional makeup of the person.
we have on the hand, we have the lines, and most people know about the lines, but we also have the mounts, which are these sort of the areas underneath each finger and around here. The mounts, this is Venus, which is all your emotional area. This area around here, which is all your imagination, it's the lunar area. Then we have here the Jupiter area. This is all about wealth and things like that. This and luck. This area is the Saturn area. This is kind of religion and your deeper thoughts. This area is your Sun, which is all kind of your expressions. And this area here is Mercury, which is all the areas of like writing and expression and speech. And right across the middle here, we have the plane of Mars, which is the area that expresses all your things like interests in sports and things. So whatever markings we see on these areas of the hand, or whatever the development of the mounts of these hands, how fleshy they are, will determine the qualities of the person's personality. Now, I'm drawn particularly to, because I'm talking about the emotional side of you first of all, that you have a mount what we call the Venus here. Now that is all love and relationships and things like that. And if you notice, your mount of Venus has lots of little fine lines all over it, right? That's all worry, stress, worry. Because you're very highly sensitive, because you're very emotional, you've got a very, very sensitive hand. It shows a lot of excessive nerves, right? Nothing to worry about. A lot of people have that, right? Your mounts are all quite well developed. The most developed mount is what we call the Jupiter mount, so that's money. You like nice things, I've got to say. You like expensive things, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
You like, because the artistic side is developed on this mount here. It shows that you also like quality. You like classic too, I would say. You would like things like painting. You would like things like classic music. You'd enjoy a night at the opera, right?
Yes,
so I don't know if those sort of things have been important in your life. I thought I saw it on your hand there. Let's see, check the light a bit. Yeah, you have lines that run up from the headline into this area here of your hand, which is the mount of Jupiter. Now, that's all to do with luck, and it looks to me like there could be a cross on that there too. Yes, there's a cross on the mount of Jupiter too. Now, normally we get things like crosses, stars, squares and things on mounts, and the cross is usually a bad sign, right? It's on the mount of Jupiter though, and it's reversed when it's on the mount of Jupiter. That can show things such as fame, money, lineage. It can show all sorts of things connected with. It can also be a kind. Sometimes it can be taken as a religious sign, but that's more with Saturn here. Next one, but it shows that you could achieve very high in life, and there could be connected with you something there associated with having come from a very good family of some type. You know, that there is something in your background shown there with things like money and things in the background. Okay, so it's a sign here that there is a connection with, you know, a royal family might have a cross on there, right? The someone that has achieved greatly in life might have that type of sign, right? So is there something in your background, could I say, that is very significant with something like that, with that type of thing? Yeah.
In palmistry, each of the lines on the palms characterises a different aspect of the future. You can interpret their meanings by examining the size of the line, the depth of the line, the colouring of the line, and the curvature of the line. Also, sometimes we look at things such as if lines are forked, if there are things like squares and crosses across them, if we have lines ascending or descending from the lines. All these things taken together can give us some understanding of the destiny of the individual.
These are the basic lines of the hand. The most important one, I suppose, is the lifeline. That runs from here around like that. If it's nice and curved, it means you've got a nice, long, healthy life. The next one is the headline. That runs across the middle of the palm. Sometimes it dips down to here. If it dips down to there, then you're a very imaginative person. If it goes straight across the hand, you're much more of an intellectual person. And if you've ever wondered where the love line is, that runs right across the hand this way. So this shows all your love life, this is all your thinking life, and this is your actual destiny. Your lines are strong, your lines are clear. If they have strong lines crossing them, if they have islands, what we call in it, and we have squares on it, they're usually obstacles. But unfortunately, your line is pretty good in terms of its, compared to most people's hands, fairly clear running. So the way ahead will be clear. Yeah, that's the head.
Yeah.
This is your destiny of life, this is your headline. Now this is your heart line, the next one, okay? It has more chains than the other lines, so your emotional life has been a lot harder than the rest of your life in the past. Extremely difficult in the earlier life. Forked at the end is a good sign on there, because that can show that you would find happiness, right? Because the fork can often show, like a fork on the lifeline can show travel. There are different schools of thoughts on this, but but usually a fork is a good sign, and that's a sign that you will you could have happiness in love. Two big relationships in your life shown mainly on your hand there, right? In terms of, you also have the start of what we call the sun. You've got the artist line on here too. The sun, which is unusual on a hand. Not everybody has that. It runs into the Mount of Mercury, shows you're a good communicator. So arts and things like that could be important to you. I don't know if music has been important to you in particular, has it?
Yeah.
Have you studied music in your life?
Oh, just a little bit when I was
when you were little, but you've got musical skills shown there, which could be developed because the line's shown there. Fate line is this one. This is the what we call the fate line. Not everybody always has the fate line. It's one of the major hands of things on the hand. That fate line is it's forked. So it shows you can do well in things. It doesn't follow the whole hand, so I would suggest from that line that a point will come in your life where you will give up work. You won't work, right? Now that could come, because this could be represented here from the Jupiter mount, that money could come your way. So there could be a legacy of some sort shown by that. And the fact that the fate line stops, I would say, is a pretty good sign, because it might mean you come into some money, all right?
Oh, finally.
So that's shown. So is there some opportunity that money could come your way?
Yeah. That's what we
and
hope.
could it be from inheritance and be quite a substantial amount from that position, right? It's shown as positive. I think it's likely. It's lots of travel, and both hands really confirm each other. So I would say that from what I see in your hands, that your destiny looks pretty secure.
No palm reading is complete without the reader giving some form of clairvoyance, some insight that comes through his sixth sense. In my case, I'm a medium, so I tend to give a little information that often comes from the spirit world.
So that's the main things I'm seeing in your palm. As I connect with the palm too, I sometimes also pick other bits up too, because it opens up the psychic side as well, right? And while I was doing it, I was feeling, because I'm a medium, I was feeling a lady close to me as I was talking to you. Now, is your mum still with us?
No.
Because I felt it's close to that side of the family, right? So your mum's on the spirit side, yeah?
Yeah.
And I want to say also, because she's a bit like you in that she's very strong-willed lady, right? She's very determined, right? And although I get the sense with her that she was a lady who suffered a lot with her health throughout her life, I feel she's trying to say to me, and particularly towards the end. I don't feel she went quickly. I felt she was continual illness, and her determination got through Would I be right in that? Yeah?
Yeah,
Very
that's right.
determined and fighting through despite the illness. So like her body's weak, but the weaker she got, the stronger she became.
Yeah.
She also, can I say she loved animals too, because I'm seeing animals around. There's so many animals, yeah? We've got all sorts. We've got lots of dogs, and we've got lots of all sorts of animals, because I'm feeling, did she have a horse? Horses or something? Was the horses?
Yeah, we had.
You had the horses, and I see the
We
fields
ride
with the horses. And you could make them run as a group, so I'm seeing like a group running 4 or 5 horses at one point. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
And
my
she
God.
used to wear, she loved her jewellery, because she puts jewellery all over herself, didn't she? She loved her jewellery. And she even, did you wear a tiara around the head here or something at one point? Did you wear, like in the 1920s type of look she showed me here, that they used to wear sort of,
Oh, yeah.
something she used to wear it. There's a picture of her or something with like, it looks like a tiara,
Yeah, she
you
had
know?
that picture.
And she says there's a picture of it. There's not many
Oh
people
my
wearing the
God.
tiaras, and that would have had diamonds on it too. So if you can't wear them on your wrists and you can't wear them on your fingers, I'll wear them on my head as well. So I want to say with your mum, I mean, you knew her as a mum, but when she's a young woman, I say she was a very beautiful woman.
Oh.
She was an elegant look to her. She was quite tall, I feel, for her build.
Taller than me, I wish.
And she had that willowy sort of look, you know.
Yeah.
And she very much embraced, I feel it gives me the feeling of embracing like the period of the 1920s, 1930s look. That's not really her time, but I'm getting the feeling of like, you know, the Art Nouveau and things like that she liked, you know. And she tells me she had good taste in food and wine as well. And I want to say wine because I don't know, did they keep wine when you were young?
Oh my God.
We had a wine cellar or something like
Oh.
that, right?
Really?
And I'm seeing the wines. She's talking about the wines, and she understood and she liked red wine and things like that. She wouldn't drink white, I think. She'd only drink the red, is the feeling I'm getting. Bit of a connoisseur with that. You must have come from the countryside from what she's showing me here, because I'm seeing like a big open green scenery now and a big house.
Yeah, just a
And-
bit of.
And did that house have like a tower section on it?
Oh.
A section that was built like a
Oh.
tower-like end to it, a block to it. And a
Yeah,
big
we
hallway.
had something like that.
And a big hallway.
Yeah.
And it was decorated, and there was some gold paint and things like that. I can see that. Would that be right?
Yeah.
And I see the gold and mirrors
They
and things
like
with all the
this
gold.
stuff.
You liked all the gold, didn't she? Gold
Yeah,
paint.
gold.
You know, gold
We
paint.
gold
She,
people.
she likes her bling, doesn't she? Basically, except it's the real thing.
That's
She
my-
says it's not. It's not.
That's
It's not.
my family.
And,
Gold
and she'd
family.
laugh at this. She'd laugh at
Yeah.
this, you know. Your father, she's talking about your father. Did he suffer with his chest a lot, your dad? Smoker, heavy smoker, would I be right? She's talking about someone here that was a heavy smoker too.
Yeah, but very. It's like not lately, no.
But he had the chest condition from the smoking.
Yeah,
He's
he
still
had
with
a
us,
bit.
your dad, yeah? Yeah? And she's sending her love to your dad, even though they sometimes didn't always see eye to eye. You know what I mean? They had a lot of conflicts in their life between them, but fundamentally, she still loved him, despite it all. That's how I'm getting there. And because she kept the family together, your mum did, the family could have broken very easily. And in fact, now the family is quite shattered in some respects, you know, conflicts between brothers and sisters. But I see him, she's talking about him. He never make his mind up, she said. He was a bit like you, stubborn but can't make their mind up. You know, I feel that can be. You got a bit of your dad in you in that respect. You know, I was saying about your sensitivity with your hands and things like that. So just while I've been doing your palms, I've also felt your mum close to you there, and I just want to feel that. I want to say from your mum, she's given you some proof of herself there, I hope, and she's just saying she's around you a lot. You often ask for your mum's help. And although you get bad dreams, like I said, sometimes you get bad. She tries to come through your sleep sometimes when she can get through. So I know it's emotional, but that's your mum on the spirit side communicating to me, trying that she's around you a lot, and she wants you to know she's there. You have a lot of stress in your life. You get back troubles and you get aches and pains, and you get all tense from tension type things. And I feel she's trying to let you know that she's there with all the dogs and animals, and she's showing me like the home as it used to be, right? And really I feel as if she's trying to say that it's like that in the spirit world for her, you know? It's like she's reconstructed all that home that you had in the big countryside. It was a big house you had, she says.
Really?
And she says, talks about the wine cellars and the dogs. And it's like she's showing all those memories, and they can be real, even now, you know? And your mum was a bright lady, clever lady, a very protective, emotional lady, a very cultured sort of lady, a very good-looking lady. And the world lost a lot when she went, and you lost a mum, which was the worst of all for you, because she was a very good mum as well, I feel. So take her love, know that she's there, and she's glad you're very interested in all these things. And she's saying she would have been interested in palm reading too, you know.
It's look like it's like energy, something is going in my body. I don't know, I didn't feel that.
You can probably feel her energy around, and also where we've been working from the palms. I think she's kind of connected with us. She would have found all this very fascinating, you know. But she's also interested in the mediumship too, which is what that's
she was. All my family.
She says I'm very interested in it, and I think we're going to get her through a few more times in the future somehow.
No.
Okay, well that's it. I'm through. I'm done. Hope that was help.
Thank you so much. Make me cry. So thank you so much, Craig, for doing reading on my palms. I really enjoy it, and it was like something unbelievable you told me. I won't tell you now, but I know what it is.
Oh, there's some secret I've revealed. Yeah, often I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe next time you will say much, but not now. I really enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Can you share those secrets?
Maybe in future.
Okay.
I'm very impressed about what Craig said to me in a palm reading. It's actually, I can't believe it, because to be honest, I didn't really believe. But he says something like about my family is only me I know. I didn't tell anybody. So it's I was crying a bit, because it was like so spot on, because I didn't believe he said that, and something about, you know, some secrets about my life, about my family. So I just can't believe it. It's amazing. Now I realize how good he is, and I know he is a real one. I mean, I'm so impressed. I'm absolutely shocked, you know. So thanks, Craig. So you just make me understand this, like, this is really true.
Yeah, I was pretty pleased today how it went with Julie. I obviously read her palm and told her what I saw in the lines, but I went a little bit further really, because my mediumship started to kick in there as well. So I gave her some information from her mother in spirit, and also felt her grandmother around there as well, actually, which is not the normal thing you do with palm reading, but as I'm a medium, I can't help it. If you like what you saw, do subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.